Had to give the guys some room to work over at the shop on the new set, so apologies for that. But we are starting up 3 to 3, and I'm even pretty close on time. How about that? Welcome, folks. If this is first time joining us, we appreciate you joining us. If you've been here before, then we appreciate you, of course. Let's get started with the presentation, shall we? All right. Presentation today is the 6th of November, 2020. That is the 6th of November, 2020, and I am Jon Najarian. So let's roll with that. First time joining us, appreciate you joining us. It's just replaying over there, which is kind of a pain. Let's get into the presentation, shall we? First of all, disclaimer says that this presentation is for informational and educational purposes only. You should make sure that you have investigated whether or not these are appropriate investments for you, and realize, of course, that all investments involve risk. So please be careful and make sure you understand time decay, volatility, compression, things that can work for or against you when you're trading derivatives. Intellectual property rights. Yes, we have intellectual property rights. We have them for patents that we have on processes that we've been doing for almost 20 years now. We also have registered marks, trademarks, and copyrights. Please ask us before you reproduce anything that I'm about to show you. Thank you. Let's kick it off with a big one. TripAdvisor, T-R-I-P. TripAdvisor is, of course, a plan. A 100 lot, which controls 10,000 shares, would be $7,600. So, again, same story as last time. I don't like buying options that are way out of the money. I like moving the odds into my favor, and I do that by getting in here and buying the 51 calls and, by buying the 48 calls and selling the 51 calls. That's the way I would play it, folks. But I'm an aggressive gambler, as John Candy famously said in Stripes. All right, third trade, IQ, bullish call buying in IQ, very bullish call buying. They bought about 6,000 of these Nove 2650s. Now, this is one where I would be willing to run right along with them and buy that strike. 2650s, they're paying $1.15, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sell a higher strike above it as this one rallies, because that's the way I like to play it. IQ symbol, IQ, is right now, by the way, at 25.80 right now. So it's up about 20 cents from when we cited this earlier today. They're buying those calls for $1.15. That's above the open interest. We can get into that another day as far as why we care about the open interest. But this one, I like it. I am in these calls, and they've obviously only live for 2 more weeks. So these guys, it's a People's Republic of China play, so you got to be a little bit careful. They offer internet video, online games, things like that. I like it. I will be nimble in this particular trade. Lastly, TMUS. That's T-Mobile, TMUS. Oh, I wonder, why could they be buying TMUS? Because maybe it's going to be a super cycle for 5G? Yeah, that's exactly right, folks. So they bought 16,000 of these calls, December 135s. 16,600 is 1.6 million share equivalent of this stock. And it ain't a cheap stock, so you can see why they're buying the calls instead. They paid under $2 for each call, which means approximately $200 for every option you bought. If you bought a 10 lot, that's 2,000. A 20 lot, a 100 lot, that's 20,000. So you need to be aware that these are Decembers. They're starting the aggressive time decay, but they're not in the most fierce part of that time decay. The most fierce time decay is in the last 2 weeks of an option's life. But in the final 60 days, the options start accelerating as far as time decay, because you don't have as many days to be right as you get closer and closer to expiration. So this one is December. It's at the 135 strike. You guessed it. I am not buying the 135 strike calls. Every once in a while, somebody will hit a home run buying those calls, and God bless them. I'm happy for them. But I like moving the odds into my favor. I'm a singles and doubles hitter because I get to the plate a lot because I like to trade. And when I hit singles and doubles, rather than swinging for the fence,